Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. 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 Win Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Winternomics. Welcome.
What it do, what it is. I don't think anything more accurately reflects skeleton crew vibes than a skeleton that has eyebrows. Are there eyebrows on this motherfucker? I didn't even realize that. Wow. What do you think? Looking pretty good, huh? What's good in the hood, niggas? Had this show ready to go before, so I let the CPI get out of our way and shit. Literal skeleton crew. Skeleton host. Oh, shout out to everybody throwing some morning bits. What did you guys do? Peace outside Abra, Kenichi Condor, Singapore Dave. Nigga, you fell asleep in the console call yesterday, didn't you? You were unconscious, bro. I know your ass is 12 hours on the other side of the planet, so it's probably got to be pretty tough to make it through that shit. But yeah, no, we had a good introspective moment with your buddy you referred, so I was hoping to have you in there, but no worries. I'm gonna catch your ass today. 76, a little light. I think nobody's used to me getting on here like, you know, closer to the All-Star times. But so what do you guys think? I'm getting faster at painting. Like, you know, painting under pressure is fucking stressful. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But to paint and create the scenes rather than just use light photography and things like that, like, you know, trying to make that pivot and to create scenes like, you know, completely out of my imagination and stuff like that. So this is my first shot at trying to do an aurora borealis. If you guys saw the news, the aurora borealis, due to the crazy fucking like changes in the planet, is gonna be visible for the first time in like 17 fucking states. How crazy is that? So, like, you know, I know I thought, you know, auroras had to do electromagnetic you know, waves hitting the planet off the sun in the upper atmosphere. Why, you know, us being super hot equals you can see the fucking aurora and shit. But it's going to be visible, I think, in New York and a whole bunch of states now, you know, that it never was visible in before. So pretty interesting shit. Anyways, what do you guys think? And you get the idea, right? Macro view, looking from a much higher perspective when things aren't clear. When in doubt, zoom out, right? So that is the theme of this right now. As we kind of, you know, move on from party over there and everyone looking at everyone else's plate and fucking feeling like they're missing out, take a minute, chill the fuck out, back up, reset, and let's look at what's to play from this point forward, right? Because pining about what you missed means nothing now. So now it's time to take a re-examination of the battlefield, and let's get an idea of exactly what's available to us from this point forward. Forgetting about the fact that beating all those guys at broken high. If you had to walk in and the market is an all-time high, how would you participate in it, right? So there's always something else to trade. And we know that price unfolds forward through time. So stressing about what was means nothing, right? Whether you're going to be mad about missing 1974's low or fucking yesterday's low, it doesn't mean shit. Today is today, and all we can do is operate on this and go forward. So when in doubt, zoom out, chill out, right? Get your emotions out. looking forward to the process vid. I can give you a sneak peek. So those process vids that I'm doing with all that music and stuff. So this happened. Don't think most of you realize this, but they did that yesterday for a couple hours for one of the older process vids. So Elon is kind of playing ball with the DMCA. So those really cool vids I'm making with like music on TikTok and stuff like that, they're gonna nuke my account, and they gave me a warning for it. Like I got hit by 2 of these already, so I can't do those anymore. Those music videos are gonna screw me over. So it leaves me one bit of recourse, which is I'm going to have to write the music for my process vid also. So that's the next thing. I just need a little bit more time to start producing original music, and I'm going to produce everything, music, art, all of it. So they can suck my nuts when you try to fucking block me next time. But yeah, our process vids are music, are art in themselves. So, but I can show you this guy without any music, since it's going to fuck me if I do. Let's see. Where'd he go? Hold on, I don't have my monitor screen at all. Where did that go? So yeah, so painting under pressure, had to do this guy, warp 9 this morning, but I was trying to figure out how to do an aurora. It's really tough. Ta-da! Production art under pressure on a schedule. Definitely a very hard aspect of being creative while under a clock, But yeah. So I'll have to figure out a way to move that up a little. I had a whole different scene I wanted to paint, but there were some technical things I could not figure out fast enough to get it. So as you can tell, I'm kind of learning how to do this on the go. You're gonna watch the skeleton smoke some bud right now, but it's fun to discover new ways to do shit. Never really knew how to do that shit in the sky. I was like, I wonder how the fuck I'm gonna make that work. And clouds, I'm getting better at clouds, obviously. So pretty cool shit. So, and to paint a scene that can go with what we want to talk about, which is a macro perspective today, as we move on from hopefully an emotional low point in the eco, where everybody's kind of been caught in a cornered trade of looking out the window at everybody else, and everyone's actually inside and no one's in the party. So it's time to get you motherfuckers in the party, right? Hey, Ivy. Iverson's here. Uh-oh. Is this doing what I think it's doing? Is the video stuck? No, it doesn't look like it. No, looks okay. Yeah, that's YouTube doing this. I think YouTube's having some problems this morning, but that's not happening on my side. Yeah, my YouTube on my screen, on my control screen, is doing crazy shit. I think it's YouTube. Lagging, yeah, I see that. It shouldn't be doing that. It's usually pretty smooth. This filter is usually pretty smooth. Mic check, what's going on here? Uh-oh, wait, I've got something here. Skip frames. 26% skip frames over the last 2 minutes. I might have a connection problem. That's not good. Okay, this could be Streamlabs. Fuck my life. Oh well. This skeleton looks ridiculous smoking. I think it's good now. Yeah, it looks good now. So CPI got out of the way. Let me go get that number, see what he is. We're going to get done before 9:30 today also. Forex Factory. So yeah, this just happened right now. And then 10 o'clock, you got Canadian numbers to watch out for. and their central bank statement, so that'll probably have a good effect on Canadian stocks and their currency if you're trading Canadian dollars. So this guy's out of the way. CPI, right? Inflation rate, basically looking at this, as long as inflation is not where they expect and actually getting better, then that's bullish, because it puts the idea that the central bank can ease off their policy to reduce inflation sooner if we're doing better than the forecasted targets. So that's why you'd see like a bull pop out of this. It looks like CPI is tamer than expectations say, which means the Fed's effects are stronger than people thought, which likely means they can back off, into the future. So I just said that, but that's the interpretation of what you've got there. Speaking of northern lights, you're supposed to be able to see them. Well, I'm going to guess that you just got here, but I totally just told everyone that. Yes, you're going to be able to see them in about 17 states. And he's got the times on the 12th and 13th between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. Right? I didn't have the exact times. Somebody's saying that they got microphone trouble with me now. What? Okay, what the fuck? No, my mic's up. Voice is lagging too. Not good. It looks like Streamlabs is fucked right now. Not good, not good. You don't have to beg me to look at your questions, man. I have a whole chat log of people asking stuff. I check what I can and work it into the show. If I didn't see yours yet, if I look, I'll find it. But yeah, definitely don't plead and beg. There's a bunch of people asking questions, man. I'm trying to figure out my tech situation real quick. If I had to restart this thing, I think 72 frames. Let's see. Nah, it's not you guys. It's saying I've got like 72% of my frames are skipped in the last 2 minutes. So that's it's either, it looks like a Streamlabs. I don't know if I should restart everything or what I should do here. Fuck. All right, you guys let me know right now if it's stabilized or not. So my warnings went away. Let's see, open performance. Your system is experiencing minor issues. I've got a lot of drop. Your stream quality is good now. What is happening? Yeah, something weird is happening on this end. I don't know what's happening. Fuck my life. What a not a good time for this. What's killing things? Let's shut down a few things. Alright, let's see if that helps it. I just shut off like every other fucking thing I had running. Yeah, I might need to restart before I tried to start the show and I didn't realize it. I think I might be a little fucked. God damn it. Yeah, it's doing it again. Skip 2 minutes ago. Alright. Alright, how's it now? Is it going any better? No, I'm not downloading anything. I rarely do anything like that. I'm not downloading shit. It says that we have 66 viewers. Is that true? That looks bad. Yeah, I don't have any bandwidth hungry apps. You guys probably think I do more than I do. How many people do you guys see watching right now? It's better? Okay. I just killed everything. I don't know what's going on. 68. Wow, that's pretty awful. So I guess everyone left while I was trying to figure that out. It was over 100, so I guess 40 people said fuck me. All good. So I showed you guys something interesting in the room, right? So I made a highlight yesterday. Let's pull this guy up. When we talk about people missing big moves, where people's minds are at, you know, what's causing that to happen. And something interesting I want to show you, right? So like, check this play out. Keep it real. My version of the Good Morning Hoodie.
Winternomics.
Oh, let's see. This was an absolute banger. Did he pump again? He could. Is it worth looking at things that look like this when the market has far stronger things? You know what I'm going to tell you? It's never like your best idea. The one thing you can say is, from being down here in the trenches since June of last year for a calendar year, he has a pretty well-defined range, and this is what you call a test pump. So you get your coins to basically suppress the market and squeeze everybody the fuck out of it. It looks like that's kind of the setup you've got here. So this high to where he faded to, that's your range. You guys learned something about accumulation ranges now, right? If you can exit that, it'd probably be very fucking violent exit move for what is down here. It looks like somebody's accumulated something decent enough to push him out. So if you can get above, always be precise with your numbers, you know. 164.80. Yeah, if he gets above that, that's where he's pumpable from. That lines up with this floor over here. Let me look at that real quick. Double checked and triple checked. 143.66. People are rebooting. Yeah, it wasn't you guys. It was definitely me. And this breakout. Yeah, I like that level. 164.80. If he gets above there, that's his best shot to do a pump. 164.80. That was literally the morning too. If you pay attention, it was gas from that point on. I don't know, Roger and them might have been watching us, you know. They know me. So, don't know, before the whole planet gets in here, we gotta leave. You like my outro clip? I decided to do an outro clip. So, interesting enough, I honestly think this is like in the top, like, you know, 5 of cover art we've done for the show. But interestingly enough, that show that has that mega pump in it has an interesting statistic. So this is the most liked to the least liked things I posted in the last 30 days on Instagram. So believe it or not, a lot of my subscribers are in here and don't realize that you kind of give away that you don't like specific shows tied to specific art. The single worst performing piece of art of the last 30 days is that show. The only thing that performed worse is me putting up Elon's warning for rate limiting. It's the very worst performing piece I posted in 30 days that has that ridiculous play in it. Isn't that funny? And so in that moment, right, we know that most people don't find opportunity. In that moment, as a sample of my population goes, it lets you know something about the people who are supposedly fans of this place and why they don't fully value us in these shows, right? There's so many reasons to hate so much of what we do. And so much, like, you know, so much envy and jealousy just fueling people's motives that they're not really here for what they say. How exactly does the artwork for the show that has that play that y'all asked me for the fucking coin in get hit as the worst possible thing I posted in 30 days? Even if you don't like the picture, like, shit, it's the show that fucking has the plays that you make your plans on in it, right? So while you're trying to rate all my art through the floor, which you guys have done a good job, see, the very worst of the entire month is all my artwork. And the very best of the month is my cat or memes. 0 artwork. So the show that literally everyone is built, I built an ecosystem around that everyone's trying to vote off a cliff, has the content you need to fucking capture the first half of the year, but you're tactically fucking sabotaging the show, which means the fewest amount of people pay attention through that lens of hate and all the other crap you've got to find their way to value. See, it works just like it's supposed to. Most of y'all motherfuckers aren't my fans. That's what that means. If you don't like the show, please fuck off. Please and thank you. I'm just, asking for a friend. Could be me. Ain't that a silly thing? So, all you guys who keep doing that have done it so systematically. I've actually logged who keeps jumping from the memes and off the pictures. I know which acolytes and guardians it is now. You guys know if you're gonna do that, you should probably get a different handle and then be a dick to me. But yeah, it's cute. That's what helps create the scarcity, right? It's a really amazing thing when you really look at why we have so much intel in this show and so many people that know about it, yet so few able to capitalize and turn it into something actionable for themselves, right? People spend a lot of time on some really fucking stupid shit and not really making a plan for themselves. While you're pretty sure you're getting me, you could be getting yourself and your fucking family. So, think that through before you put your salt on my walls. All right. So anyways, don't be haters. Never helps you make money. If you're here and you have a bunch of salt in your eye, you'll never learn any real logic either. It really taints everything. So, it's something to think about. Even if you want to steal it and get out of here and I hate your guts, if that's the way you think about it, you'll never pay attention at the nuance levels required to take it and make it your own language so you can think and make decisions in that thought process. It's a thought process. So it's not just pretty charts and squiggles, right? They're the thought processes to why we know to do what we do with those charts. Even if BCH doesn't look like something you want to buy in the bottom of the dirt, I still know how to look at a volume footprint to fucking figure out where the exit range should be of that accumulation. So it doesn't really matter, right? So I say you can plan on your shit on fundamentals, but you always want to enter technically anyway, right? And there's a technical structure that makes it make sense, regardless of how you feel about things. So get your feelings out of the way of your objectivity, or you won't be able to be objective. Ain't that funny though? Back to 107. You guys really did reboot your shit? Yeah, it was just me. My computer was doing crap. I don't know, Streamlabs was tripping. Let me see if it's got any more error logs. Looks like it hasn't done one in 8 minutes. Okay, something in the background was fucking me, I guess. I thought that GM hoodie was fire as fuck, I was like, damn, guys hurt my feelings that we voted that thing as the worst performing thing over there. But it is what it is, right? The shows that everybody dog piles on them, those ones are also very major turning points in the market. I've also noted that too. Where you see everyone show up at is an emotional thing, and where the vacancies are is equally an emotional thing on the other side of the coin. So we always do want to pay attention to skeleton crew vibes or mass hysteria, Right, scarcity plus utility. That GM hoodie has utility, whether you believe it or not. All right, so let's see. Let's get over here to some chart action for y'all. There is BCH. Pretty decent, right? And that's definitely worth noting for guys who are dead in the cycle, and the fact he's been down there from 2022 and he didn't move with anybody else. He was just trenched out while BTC rotated up off the floor. That's definitely a sentiment thing for the rest of the market, right? Because we're talking about people who have missed BTC's movement and don't realize what's happening. He makes a new low there. But first signs of life from such a dead asset, he's definitely not first tier asset anymore. And so we want to see people seeking risk above and beyond Bitcoin. That's why we watch Litecoin, to see second tier risk, and third tier risk. And BCH is definitely second or third tier risk. So that's definitely something to take into account with the sentiments of everybody out there waiting for Armageddon, right? It's really interesting the amount of people are waiting for a short here, sentiment wise, against this level of resistance. There's a significant amount of influencers calling this thing down. But one thing you want to pay attention is a lot of the guys around this are just not looking like that, right? We told you to keep your eyes on this motherfucker right here. He faded one more time too from the show. Faded, and then the rotation out, right? This trigger we put on here is at the top of the box. That passed. Riot, somebody bought some huge stake into Riot, and these guys are rotating from the depths of hell. What's it, Mara? I haven't looked at Mara in a while. I even told you, what's his face? Oh, look, we haven't done Mara in forever. Shit. Well, yeah, remember that range. One climax, and then we have another good area here, which comes to the base of this flag area. It's actually this test. Good little box range, right? There's a lot of crypto assets that people have long forgotten about that are looking pretty crazy. MicroStrategy, where is Sailor? Don't make Sailor the smart money, God forbid. But Sailor's the smart money right now. Just kill me, actually fucking shoot me. Goddamn him and his 4-year moving average. Please fucking shoot me. Yeah. So Michael Saylor survives. He's a survivor, man. We talked about this guy in the bottom, right? Floor, possibly higher floor. And he had a hell of a range here that could lend support to him, you know, in his crash cycle. Stop it. There it goes. Stop it. Do the thing. What's it doing? Okay. I don't know what it's doing. But yeah. Higher floor, higher floor, higher floor. Michael Saylor, even with this huge fucking crash cycle that's visible here, is still in an uptrend on the higher resolutions, right, from '07. How crazy is that, right? He looks like Armageddon here, but if you don't take into account what he comes from the internet bubble and the crash lows he put in there, why am I not scaling up to, there it goes. Right? If you look at him, this is actual Saylor's trend, and Saylor is still in an uptrend. How nuts is that? Looking at this, you'd be like, oh, it's the internet bubble all over. No. Saylor had the internet bubble. That was Saylor's internet bubble, right? This is nothing. This actually is a test pump when looked in contrast to what the fuck happened back here. So pretty interesting, right? The sentiment is awful. Saylor now is a corner trade. He's massively maximal bullish crazy. And most of your crypto zealots who built their brands to become large influencers on the back of fucking crypto and Bitcoin's popularity are calling for Armageddon. What are the chances? So when the indicator becomes a scarcity, right, you have to inverse the inverse. And so, like I told you in the other show, right, Saylor might be the smart money, and he's looking like it right now. So what an interesting rotation, right, for the sentiment to be so bad. That's one of the things we talked about in the last show, is like when, if any of you were around in the cycle for like 17 or in 21, right, the climate in crypto is extremely frothy when everybody gets it. And everybody's super happy, and everyone's got ridiculous targets, and everyone's got a decent amount enough money that they're not really paying attention. Think about it right now, right? Apple, again, the biggest company on the planet that most of you have a product from them, is sitting there. Let's really look at Apple. He's sitting there. And no one sounds like it's the internet bubble. And Bitcoin's up 100%. Litecoin's rotated. ETH is up like fucking 250% off its floor. Nobody's happy about things at the heights of where they are for this year. There's none of that mood out there. There is, people really want to kill each other right now. And the crowded trade is that people are all, whether they admit it or not, are experiencing like the effects of inflation and cost of living. And so the natural reaction is to hoard fiat to afford more expenses that are pressing into a finite amount of like this disposable income that people have, rather than trying to make more money to stay ahead of it. If you really think about it, right, Elon Musk became the richest guy on the planet again with this huge bounce in Tesla. Do you realize that Elon is like net long risk assets to a disproportionate degree, right? Himself, Zuckerberg, all those guys, the top 5 wealthiest people on the planet, I think, gained like $850 billion between them. Well, what does Zuckerberg and Musk have in common? They are massively, massively long, highly leveraged tech risk assets. If you just thought about that, right, Buffett is balls deep into like Oxy. And Bill Gates is balls deep into farmland. He owns the most like in the whole country. What do you realize? The top 5 richest people are fucking net long risk assets while most people are hoarding fiat. That's the counter trade right now. There is none of them, like even Jeff Bezos, their bulk of their wealth is in the things that made them, right? And as a speculator looking at Gates and Buffett, these people are fucking plowed into fucking assets outside the currency. That's the fucking trade of the smart money while the world's calling for fucking pullbacks everywhere. The smart money is all in. All in. Isn't that nuts when you think about it like that? Like, people are sitting there and they know Elon just became the richest guy on the planet again. And they're still going to call the end of fucking the planet. Peter the Deleter said he doesn't know what's happening on the market. When has that ever been different? Right, you can't fucking make a bag holding fiat. And there's a lot of people who are sitting there waiting for Armageddon to prove Elon wrong. Pay attention to the fucking guys at the top of the mountain, right? It's a easy fucking indicator to see, and how many people are all on the other side waiting for them to be wrong. Are you waiting for Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and Warren Buffett to all lose to your idea of what you think is coming? You don't have to be a fucking rocket scientist to see, where the retardation is. And those guys are maximum leverage. Smart money cornering the value, making moves. They've only been making moves. They're building and they're fucking planning for, the world to be a going concern. I don't know the Rothschilds holding in every central bank. I just know that they were in the back of getting the Bank of England where it is, in the Bundesbank and the Federal Reserve itself. There's 169 central banks under the Bank of International Settlement. I couldn't tell you who's the shareholder of all of those, but the ones that matter in the world that help to direct traffic, started with that family and a few others that ultimately ended up in a controlling position with those things. But yeah, we're not going to do the whole Rothschild conspiracy talk for a market show today. But that's about as much as I could talk about it. Think of the Bank of International Settlement as the central bank of central banks. Effectively, if I visited Earth from another planet, the Bank of International Settlement would be the Federal Reserve of Earth. So the system that you actually look at, as a structure goes, the Federal Reserve is the Central Bank of America. You have the ECB, and you have basically how you have an oil derrick. Let me see if I can make this visual. This is how I like to describe it. Oil derrick. Yeah, that's easy. This thing. Think of a central bank like one of these. And you attach this guy to fucking, pull the oil out of the ground. Well, you attach a central bank to a sovereign nation to collateralize its assets and help it pull more assets out of the ground. And so you stick each one of these oil derricks or a central bank on each one of the, continents, producing asset bases. And you lever its existing base and pull shit out of the ground with it. This is literally what a central bank does. It helps you pull fucking resources out of the ground. And the Bank of International Settlement would be this to the whole planet of Earth. So if you ever got Mars organized, you would just do this all over again. You would have local central banks pulling resources and leveraging them out of the Earth or Mars. And then you would have a BIS for Mars that would allow you to start to, transfer value between both planets. But yeah, it's a business model when you really realize it, that to gotten it right when this began, it's incredible because it'll work to terraform a whole planet and any others you get. It's like an idea that you would think it had to be done on another world first before it showed up on this one. Because it's like Bitcoin, it's like the perfect code first. This is a hell of an idea that can terraform a whole planet that worked right off the bat. It's pretty good. Anyways, that's as much central bank gibberish as we're going to do today. I want to get you guys in your fucking... Everybody loves the esoteric conspiracy things. Nobody wants to pay attention to what's actually going on, But that's a whole nother convo. We can have that one in Discord if you want to hop in there. I can tell you all kinds of crazy shit about central banking. So, where are we at? 9:19. I wanted to be off the air before fucking market open. This is going to be rough. So, I'm going to endeavor to pull that trick off. I know I had a war story I saw in here. Let's see. Reddit. Oh, I got two. Let's see. When life pulls you away. Do war stories real quick. See, I got your question in there. It's Quick Trip and Puzzles. I get where I can get. I actually didn't see that one. It was like way up there while I was figuring out my fucking Streamlabs craziness. All right, this is Serdar. Hey, EcoCaz, little book alert. Motherfucker, I have a time crunch. This isn't a book. I had a trade which I wanted to share with you. Maybe it will help some, and I found out that war stories are always good to rethink some situations. I made a trade in BTC which sadly didn't play out, but I told myself I'm going to stay out and wait for another opportunity because I thought that I planned right, but it was too early. I waited a few more minutes, but then got distracted. Always keep laser-like focus, and so I didn't watch the chart. And I also didn't set up some alerts. As you can see on the chart, BTC jumped back up exactly to my take profit, but I didn't take the trade. Here are two problems I face. First is a negative vibe after a losing trade, which I can handle better than in the past, but still, after a losing trade, I have a genuine feeling of leaving the desk and do something else. Clear my mind bullshit. It was just one losing trade, not 5 in a row, so it was definitely not that bad. Second problem was, I said already, the lack of focus. All this happened in a short time, so instantly got taken out of my habits. Didn't see clear, so I left the desk because of my emotions. Problem 1, which caused me not taking the trade, which I already planned in my head. Also mistake, only planning in your head and not bringing the ideas onto the chart. Definitely put your ideas, into writing. Definitely helps you to have more conviction than when you write it out. That's why I write in my notepad every day. Well, you can't see my book, but I have a book right now. Plan was to get back at the blue dotted line above the white VWAP at 3306. It was a little mistake. Life is not over, but something I could avoid. Maybe some of you will find this helpful. I will from that mistake. Cool and tell, love the shows. So yeah, you had an idea for a long up here. He corrected you out, and then he rotated, and he actually came back to the trigger you'd established, and you're saying you didn't take this again once he took you out, but you did call it right. So, yeah, the thing is, like, the psychology of getting knocked out here and having this thing track into a longer wave and not rotate, and that's why we track the angle to see where he does eventually rotate. The psychology down here is to look away, and so that's why you have to use your mechanics to avoid, the entangled behavior that we all experience in the bottom bull flags, which is a collective fucking avoidance of opportunity that the entire herd fucking like shares without realizing why they share it. It's like you are imparted emotions from anyone around you touching the system, and so all we have are our mechanics to avoid being caught in the behaviors that are captured in these structures. So when you have the feeling to look away, if you're introspective enough, that is its own indicator in itself, right? It's a read on you is either an anomalous read in the population of billions, or it's a tell on everybody else, because that's the distribution of value in the world, right? It's skewed. So that's a good reflection. All right. So as for macro things, let's do a warp speed macro. So just looking at where we are, bull flag's a bull flag's a bull flag. Let's look at that rotation, right? As far as bull flags go, S&P could be like right here. And everyone thinks it's Armageddon, while the richest man in the world is the richest man again. But it's amazing to watch how often you can see these things, and people think Armageddon's right here too, right? In COVID, coming in July, people thought fucking Armageddon. No one saw this coming out of COVID as fast as it happened. And you kind of have the same psychology in the midpoint of the bull flag now, right? Nobody fucking sees it. And the midpoint here, no one fucking sees it either. What if, right? All right, so 3 hours. Turn some colors on. All right, so I told you to pay attention to Stevie D. I told you, that little box strings, Stevie D. How powerful is your fucking fear? I'm kidding, it's not fear. But a little shockwave action. This area I told you to pay attention, is a good little zone. Shockwave action, back out again. So you see how this goes. And we're gapping back up to our next emotion level I told you to watch for, which is, guess who? The same motherfucker from down there. Goku, Ragnarok, same motherfucker. So Goku shows interest in virtual real estate. God help us, because that was the end of virtual real estate, so that was a powerful level. So we pay attention right now. We should have decent interaction here, just like when we came up to the first emotion level here and this emotion level here. We pay attention now. This is our next target that we're talking about to watch for, right? And I told you, there was still a bullish bias even with the VIX. We just wanted to be sure the VIX wouldn't continue. Qs are lagging a little bit. Same trigger we talked about. Looks like he's going to gap on top of it finally. He was lagging while the industrials were stronger. I told you there's a bit of rotation while tech slowed down. And when tech slowed down from the run it did, it was the biggest house in the neighborhood. It repriced all the other shitty houses in the neighborhood, which are now in sympathy chasing it, which is industrials, basics, and some financials, and some discretionaries. So right now when you see this, somebody asked me about XLB, and I told you there was strength in parts of XLB, right? Like things like metals and shit like that, like, steel and these guys that I gave you a basket for in the channel. This guy has a pre-market, doesn't have a pre-market. But there's all kinds of other parts of the market running while these guys who had led the market stalled out, So while these guys stalled out, tech ran first and then pulls the rest of the planet up behind it. And so we're seeing broad strength all over the fucking place right now behind that. VIX things, watching him, because he's the guy that's our big risk. So he popped out of this rotation. He barred off of Troll X. God, I almost call that Nomics. That's probably gonna stick. At any rate, Troll X right here, right? And we barred back down through it. So this is a key level we want to watch right now with the VIX under here. And if he can sustain under here and fall and fade back down to our trigger, which is the base of the bull flag that led to COVID, this room allows for more risk on in just this narrow banded range, right? So we want to pay attention if we can stay down and keep fading, or if we like hold on the opening and reverse course. 4 minutes till opening bell. DXY things, right? We generally want to see the DXY be weaker too, right? The home currency is weaker. It allows for risk assets to be strong on top of that, and we can see the DXY faded down. We talked about watching GBP USD to really keep eyes on that guy. That was your really good like technical structure, and he held on the trigger perfectly. We flagged that guy and tracking him, and we have him in the only stands also. For everyone who's in Guardians, you should have had this play. I laid that out pretty easy. So that guy gave us a good read. Euro USD, we kept track on him too. He looked like he was setting up for the same kind of rotation that we drew out here in this projection, and he's now rotated, held his box range. So this is a better, cleaner read for us than on DXY. So we've got a lot of things that are in alignment to allow risk assets to continue to push. So that's VIX, DXY, and then of course crypto things. Sentiment rise I talked about in the very beginning. You really don't get the vibe that anybody's in this motherfucker either, right? So he's chopping around a little emotion level we picked out in the show, and he's kind of just vibrating around that. I think you just treat the whole thing as a box range and let him clear it, just like BCH. Let him escape this entire narrow band of shit he's doing, right? And if he gets out on top of this, he should have the ability to gas since he's over a major flag low of 2021. All right, that's like everything really fucking fast. You like that? And then this projection, right? We're allowing this to breathe. If he legs down again, that would be the next leg in crypto. So USDT fading this angle right here, and the bear flag is the bull flag of crypto, right? So this congestion all tied to the next wave in USD. T.D. God damn, that's a lot. All right. So for all you crackheads that are about to go in there and kill yourselves on low resolution things, let me see if I can get this guy squared up for you real quick. This is your pre-market off of the CPI right now. So this is our futures chart we've been watching. This is tech. And again, I told you some good areas to pay attention to, right? If you guys pay attention to this, told you a good spot right here. See? Good spot. Good areas that we marked down for you guys. So we're sitting at the top of this. For any of you crackheads that are about to fucking go fight this motherfucker, he's gonna need to clear the ultimate high now, right? He's just trapped between here and there. That's what you've got. This high, where he's at right here, from not exactly precise, but yeah. Inside that range, we can structure something up against here. It's between two climaxes. That's, pretty much the area to watch now to see if you can get out. What the fuck? Pay attention who's the strength in the day, right? The S&P is actually pushing out because energy is actually a big part of the S&P, and once he's performing good with some basics, the S&P is actually stronger than tech at the moment because he's got more broad strength happening, and tech is stalled from the pump it already had. And that's allowing the Dow also, right, to clear a similar range that we see that tech is stalled at. Tech is stalled inside the range of here and here. We want to watch the same things for the Dow, to get inside this range. It's a much bigger range. And in the S&P, when you look at it, right, he's cleared the whole thing. So S&P has the broadest strength. So the broader market is super strong right now. That's pretty major to see, right? So Goku level incoming on the open. And we want to see this guy structure and hold a breakout here. God damn it. And then keep going, right? All right. 9:29 and 46 seconds. There's the entire pre-market prep for you motherfuckers. Whoever's a crackhead needs to go. Got you. All right. Who has symbols? That was a pretty express fucking run. Let's see. Sorry, I think it's to read a lot what you said here. Unbelievable to see Sailor, a bad actor from last cycle, at where he is now. Sailor has survived somehow from... He shouldn't have survived from the internet bubble. That motherfucker... You gotta give him credit. That motherfucker's been hanging on for a while. He stayed alive against a lot of people's best guesses, Just a fucking cockroach that won't fucking die, that guy. Yeah, everyone is right. Robin's right, right? Everyone is our boy. Everyone was shitting on Musk when he lost his richest man status. Now you got it back. Everyone's trying to shit on Twitter, shit on this, shit on that. And at the end of the day, if he's the richest man in the world and you're shitting on Twitter and you're waiting for Tesla to fail, he's got the FUD of the ages at all-time highs. That's never a good look, right? Don't FUD Apple at all-time highs. Don't FUD Elon there either. You're gonna look foolish. But people love to fucking short the richest guy on the planet for whatever reason, right? It's the craziest thing you'll see people do. We got symbols yet? Elon for Mars. ITA, is it what? ETA is the ticker ETF? Yeah, we can figure that out. Alright, decent amount of symbols. Let's see what you guys got. Shout out to Big Iz. Appreciate you, sir. Where are we at? CSIQ. CSIQ is a solar play. And no one's asked for solar in quite some time. Let's see where this guy is. Pretty sure this is not on this chart. Let's see. CSIQ. There it is. Okay, we did do solar. Big res solar from a while ago. So solar's been cooking kind of like this for a hot minute. And, you know, we put a, I think we put a sheet in the only stands for this where we wanted you to watch, watch TAN, right? The major ETF that is for solar. And this is kind of like the player watching. This is big res energy stuff, right? Talking about like dirty energy and things. This is the resolution that we're like staring at it way out, you know, from 09 where solar kind of got its like, you know, traction. This is a huge cycle, just like, you know, you've seen dirty energy and stuff like that, right? We look at like resolutions like this, they're huge cycles inside of energy, and solar's no different. So you're kind of waiting for this guy to strengthen out and fully rotate, and you don't really have the strength you want to see there. We had actually tracked this guy, FSLR, you know, on his breakout from a very BCH looking accumulation zone that lasted like the better part of a fucking decade. And so this guy's congesting right now here. This is our next major trigger on this projection, up here to take out this climax. So I think you're waiting for TAN to mature with that before CSIQ and all these guys are going to correlate and come out of these areas. But if you can see it, it looks just like TAN, right? So that's kind of what you have to be a little patient to let that guy develop a little bit more. Solar isn't the strength right now in energy. It's a kind of dirty energy things right now. Let's see. And so right now down this res, it's just a shit show, right? So you want him to kind of just get out of this entire gross area he's in. It's probably the first thing you want to see clear. This high being set, as long as this floor holds, him rotating out of this box is probably what you're looking for, right? Something along those lines that would take him out of that. Yeah. Make it white. Yeah, something like that. All right, let's see CSIQ into it. Interesting rotation. So that's a shitty little range, kind of like what we just saw in CSIQ, and him breaking up right here on a gap. I'm guessing you might have some catalyst why you didn't even ask about it today. What's down here? Highest close since August. Nothing specific, just his price. All right. That's probably not the chart for Intuit. Let's go over here, Intuit. Do we never do anything on Intuit? No, I guess not. Let's see. It's kind of ugly. You look at his like major COVID low dips. Not that. Yo, this thing's crazy. Like one floor, and right, this is your potentially higher floor here, and within this floor, right, you have potentially higher floor there, right? And so that's kind of what you're watching. So within two, right? This res to this res. Can this guy, let me draw that. Right, this is what you're hoping for here. And on this res, same thing, right? N within N, bitches. I know you love it. So that's kind of what you're watching. Last height to generate the floor right there. So I like this level as putting in the low for this higher floor, and then test, 2B, 2B, real gangster 2B, another one motherfucker, and then clearing, this entire churn he's got sitting on top of this level, including the wick. So if you can stay outside of that low range I just showed you, above this, it looks good. If we keep getting strength, also there's been some strength rotating back to financials. Let's make that box. Let's make it white for now. Right, so he's kind of like in the world of like tech and financials. So you kind of see this movement coming back. A lot of people have taken their eyes off financials, but with tech slowing down, industrials catching strength, they are parts of like financials, that definitely are worth looking at. I think Square and some of these guys are in the dirt, have a chance of getting some life. I think PayPal was getting fucked in the ass, wasn't they? They were, but there's a couple other guys in that space that is probably worth watching. But there's stuff in financial definitely showing some strength and stuff like that. Intuit, might be worth paying attention to. Now he's actually clearing the space. It's a little choppy, but he's 2B, and he's out this box range. So I think if he's got any chance of running, it is actually probably right now he's actually clearing the space. MKRUSTT. Oh God, which place did I ever do this? I'm sure you guys have asked this before. MKRUSD. Nope. MKRUSD. Have you guys never asked this one? MKRUSDT. I guess not. We'll just start over on whatever. All right, so this guy made a move, kind of looks a lot like what BCH did, right? From the depths of hell doing dog shit. Really like a real major bear market guy. You guys are really fishing in the dumpster, aren't you? So let's look over here. Yeah. And take it just like BCH down to the ultimate low. He 2B this, and then he floored whoever there. So that's what we care about. So let's see what's that exact level. 430. Okay, cool. So we want to see that stabilize outside the range to allow him to go again. So coming down from here to there. What's possible above this range? Price has memory. He's done this above that level. And so the trap would be, 2B here for people expecting that. We got a floor rotation right there, high, at a test that's not quite another low. So he has actually a slight, rising floor to this. He comes out here and breaks this. He'll create his uptrend structure here, but he's not going to violate the major downtrend until he takes out that. So if there's a real crazy crypto cycle, and this pilot should really get some life to it, he gets a lot better up there. But stop diving in the dumpster. Even though that BCH call that somebody asked for was a great fucking pickup. technically you gotta go with what made the low. Can't pass through prices. So that's pretty much what you're watching with that one. Everybody got all that? AAL, talked about airlines a while ago. So if you missed that run, find these guys to chill out a little bit. They're kind of like a bit, sticking out right now from even the last structure we can see. This is daily, and they're just kind of like got gas. So them, Delta, all those guys have been really strong. We talked about FedEx, watching these dudes. Transports across the board are really strong, right? We dropped FedEx for you guys, so you keep your eyes on that guy. It's perfect bull flag on that one. Probably need a highlight. And UPS, somebody had asked UPS when he showed you FedEx and Louisville, and said a lot of these guys look like they're in places they can go, but FedEx was the better looking of the two. But that being said, right, everything transport is moving, right? Your transportation index has airlines and things like FedEx in it. So these guys are all in motion, and airlines, which is part of like discretionary, is got strength, in combination with transports. So you have this really crazy, gas pedal moves. Right now, I think the next best place you get to plan is at this trigger, like in Delta's, structure, and you get something that correlates with that for pretty much everybody else, right? So AAL should have a level that mirrors that one, which either it depends where he reaches at the point that Delta reaches where he is, because he's a dog of the industry. So if he's here, or if he actually reaches up there, right, you're gonna kind of have to evaluate that situation when he gets there. So we can look at this floor here, right? That's the situation that he was in. I feel like I have AAL somewhere else. Oh, it's OGAL. Okay. So yeah, I think if you can see him get up here and slow the fuck down, he's kind of like in no man's land above this area. I think if he gets up here, you can make a play off him like that, and a whole bunch of the airlines should probably give you a correlated signal to go with it. All right, let's see. Anyone in yesterday's prep call got a hell of an amount of value. This eco goes beyond just in charts, peeps across all levels of the game. We thrive, not just survive. Keep up the habits, open new worlds. Yeah, at the end of the day, Iz has been here half a decade. A lot of guys who make a career out of this place, they demonstrate the habits that, most of you in there wishing you knew what to do. They're just around. They just pay attention to information. That's it. And they incorporate into, what they do. Right? The idea is not to, get FOMO anything that we talk about in the show. The idea is to take this information, add it to your body of work, and make a more informed choice that's still your choice. So, you are your habits, and most people have this inability to just sustain and build, a plan around the amount of intel that we put out, and they're kind of looking for to hit the button, and if it's not there today, they can't last till tomorrow to, be patient enough to see it through. That's a degen gambler. If you guys are actually gonna do this as a career, and you actually want to leave whatever it is you do, you have to act like it, like it's really a possibility, and start to work on this like it's a self-employed business, and there's a whole lot of things that fall into your responsibilities that at normal jobs that you're employed at, you don't have those responsibilities, right? You can go 40 hours a week working here and come out with a fucking minus sign. So it's not for everybody. Not everybody's cut out to be their own boss. So that's one thing you gotta think about if you intend to do this as a career, not just moonlight as a trader for a little bit in some Discord and tell your friends I'm working on trading, and you're not really working on shit, But anyways, yeah, it's a good memo. Dumpster divers like those homies at the club looking for them bigums. Talk about some big girls. Big girls need love too. In the age of body positivity, we can't be shit on them bigums. So everybody needs love. And just, if they got a couple rolls, there's just a whole lot more to love. I can't say shit. I ain't got all my COVID weight off. Yeah, good memo. All right, so let's see. What else do we got here symbol-wise? I lost track. Did somebody ask for bitch now that bitch is blowing up 150%? Motherfucker, I'm going to skip that. I already went over enough of that guy. Arc? Fucking, somebody's asking for fucking Kathy big fucking penis? You want Kathy's big fucking penis across your snifter? Is that what you're telling me? Here's Kathy big dizzle. So we drew this up whenever the fuck forever ago that was, and there's your trigger. Same shit as it was the last time we talked about it, right? So she needs to get the fuck out of there and restructure, and this piece of shit's gonna survive and suck in a whole bunch of other investors' money and kill them, and it's a business model. That's why Buffett and his homie don't like people like them. But yeah, this is your major range of volume. That's where we thought the catch could be. So we gave you a wave if you went out, and if you survive, trigger out the other way, right? So until it leaves this noise, you deal with it just like we said. Price has memory. What comes if it can clear this trigger? Failed move here. Okay, what the heck? Draw, bitch. Right? The last time it exited cleanly, it can do something like that. Again, you know, she's in the dumpster. She was the horrible risk management, buying all the way down. But if she manages to survive the cycle, she's a dog of the industry, but she's also highly leveraged, right? And she looks a lot like where Coinbase is. So you really do want to pay attention to this little witch, unfortunately. Let me see if we go lower res and look at that any better. I have 2 levels in there, I see. What is that? I got one there and one there. Okay, I see it. It's that high and this high. Got it. Yeah, so all decent levels to pay attention to. Next, BCHHO. Is that what is that? Thales Euronex. Okay, got it. I like seeing more Euro symbols. Don't you guys have access to like baskets over on that you know, market carpets from TradingView? You should really take advantage of that, because we've never been to look inside industries in foreign countries before. I think that's a huge new advantage that we have. Let's see something here. So Thales HO. Did you guys ask me this one already? You did. Wow. Okay. That looks pretty good. So need to get above the trigger. Want to see him sustain a system free and clear of the trigger. Did one here. And he didn't break the low of it. He held that, and he's flagging again, right? And trying to rotate. So probably worth keeping that guy on your radar right now. All right. STZ, Constellation Brands. Everybody knows the whole beer situation with Bud Light, and so everyone's kind of paying attention to Constellation Brands because they've got the deal with Modelo, which. But, you know, Anheuser-Busch still has, like, a relationship inside that, just not inside the United States. So I don't think a lot of people realize they're not fully out of that picture. It's not like it's Modelo versus Bud Light. Anheuser-Busch still has a stake in Modelo here. So let's see. So Constellation Brands, let's zoom out into a big res on this guy. And it's this congestion you kind of want to avoid, right? And you see stuff like this. This is not like something you want to get yourself stuck inside of. So you'd rather him clear this whole thing out. So let him do that. Let him get above that and establish that as a new trigger. Where's the other one? And projected path, put him out, you know, just somewhere up here, doing a clean system and then going off the top of that. That's a horrible picture. So let's fix that. Something along those lines, right? Something off the top of it would be safer than in this and guessing when he leaves. All right, next one. STZ, ALB. ALB is Albemarle, which I think is Basic Materials. Albemarle is, I think he has to do with batteries. Not exactly positive. Let me see. I'm pretty sure somebody's in there can check me on that. I'm pretty sure he has to do with like fucking like the tech that goes into batteries. You know, like Elon's thing. Let me see if I could figure that out. It should correlate to LIT or something like that. Not really. I think he has something to do with that. I could be wrong. Anybody knows the top of their heads on this one? What the heck? He's specialty chems, but I think he's like I forget who he specifically like. What specialty chem he exactly is. So we talked about those a little bit, like Sherwin-Williams. They're in specialty chem, Eco Labs, and all those guys. So those guys in basic materials have had some strength, not all of them. So this was the rotation in Sherwin-Williams, and so you can see like there's kind of a relationship you can see between Albemarle and them, but I don't know how great exactly. But you can see this motion here, right? So right now, flags tracking, Sherwin-Williams looks like it's rotating up. So there's broad strength in some basics right now. Like we said on the back of tech slowing down, a whole bunch of other places caught strength. So that's kind of what you're watching there. So let's see, Albemarle. Yeah, I would just follow. So if you can maintain that trajectory, that's where he's kind of coming out of right now. It's worth paying attention to that. He held that to the letter. That's OG showed stuff. We've had him on here a few times. So yeah, I think 2B on this high. This is an incredibly huge box range. He can migrate to the other side of it, and you want to watch him get out on the top of this and play something outside of it. Be pretty dangerous to guess that he leaves clean. But up here is where he's gonna make for an interesting play. Something along those lines, and then he'll trigger through. What the fuck? And you'll have a secondary trigger up there. All right, next one. Lost track of my list. Where'd it go? Where did the list go? STD Albemarle ZW1 exclamation point. So you guys want wheat? I think we have a chart for this already. Yes, we do. So wheat and agricultural stuff we looked at, and we looked at sugar and coffee and rice, I think. And this is what we're watching, right? This collapsed flag structure on top of this system, if it can stabilize and hold this box range down here, which is a huge system from the 70s, right? In the last, I don't think we had a food crisis I could think of back there. So in 1996, what was going on in the world there? I don't actually know what would have caused that either. But as far as a breakout and rotation and dump test onto this system, which I think is your real trigger range, he is holding that. So I think that's worth paying attention to see if he can stabilize and rotate up off of this or not. Let's see, next one, MTCH, Match.com, MTCH. I remember you. We have this guy somewhere. Wow, is that the last time you guys asked me about Match? Look at this shit. Has no one asked me about this since the top of 2021? People have money in 2021. That's when everyone's looking for a fucking date. You guys believe that? We have not updated that chart in that long? That's pretty stunning to me, isn't it? So, Match.com. Let's see. 3 hours. I'd say she's a rotated. Ever so slightly. Holy cow. Who dug this out of the gutter? Let's see here. Is that bottomed? Yeah, that bottomed. Wow. Let's see. That's 18. That's 18. So it's putting a range around that flag. He expanded that, dump test at the top of that system, chop, chop, chop. I think he won him on top of this, you know, where you have this like hard contact bounce. Oops, not that. That he could land and bounce like that and hold that level. And from here, he also did a pretty good move. Right here, he had congestion and a fake. Congestion and a fake break there. So I think he at least needs to stabilize on top of that range first, and then you can kind of probably make a double range between this. You want to see him do something like that and come out of this. I'll make this something else. Let's see. I can't have that. I'll just make you not fucking blue. How about that? Yeah, I think that's what you're watching right there. And then ITA, which is aerospace and defense. So a couple of guys that track this. So if industrials are strong, you want to pay attention to this. I told you guys that, like, you know, with the war situation the way it is, there's a couple of these things that you definitely want to watch, right? Lockheed, the big three we watch. Lockheed, which are all sitting up top of systems. They just need like industrial to get some strength. NOC, which is Northrop. A little bit weaker, but we predicted a floor and a 2B and a possible rotation going on down there. So we want to see if there's broad strength in some of these guys. Right, he looks like he's trying to rotate out the floor and could find some strength there. Obviously, Boeing's in that space. Don't take your eyes off Boeing. Boeing's chart's not this one. Boeing's over here. Boeing, right? So keep your eyes on Boeing. He's structuring out to possibly come back. He's a real son of a bitch, that guy. And then RTX, I think, was our best looking guy in there. So, you know, it looks like the fair amount of decent structural strength is inside of, like, you know, aerospace's big four. So that lends to ITA, you know, broadly speaking, looking like, you know, he's telling you something else. And there's other guys in here like, let's see, HII, is that it? I think he's not in there, is he? Nah, he's in a different spot. I have a couple other guys, but I don't have them my hot list with me right this second. But yeah, as a whole, like, some of those guys look structurally pretty good, and with aerospace, you know, broken out here, I'd say that it'd be a place to watch to see if this continues to push. A whole lot of stuff, right, at all-time highs or near all-time highs, and nobody seems to know it. But right now, your next major line in the sand is this. All right, so watch how he gets up to that, and you prefer him to, like, oops, God, what have they done to this button? You prefer him to do something and get on top of this and then push from there. Once he's there, I think a lot of your other guys that we just showed you will look a lot better. And then NG1. NG1 is that nat gas? Okay, did we put that on there? I think I put that on a different chart. Oh, I did do that. Holy shit. I thought I did natural gas. Let me see something. I was pretty sure I did this on another chart. No, I guess not. All right, so natty gas, definitely interesting to watch. Last time we talked about this, let's see what we did. Yeah, clear up. What the fuck? Reset, Jesus Christ, what is happening? All right. So got to a trend line here. We looked at it. I'm just looking for a setup that gets inside this box range to take out this high, and probably like a flag on top of system is the best fit for this guy. So nothing's changed from the last time we talked about it. When we look at that particular level, right, you've got pretty good action coming off of it. When you look at like what this did, and that such a massive run could emerge from that point, right? Apart from the false starts, right? A huge move does originate from this spot. So that's why we want to look at the levels that where those things come from as good triggers, because we know big moves have already historically come off of those very same levels already, right? So I think that guy looks good still. You're still waiting for the same plan to like just set itself up and for him to like get back through that level that we posted, which is 291.2. So that would be it, motherfuckers. You guys get all that? Got your macro. The show went to 10 o'clock. Definitely wasn't trying to pull off an hour and a half. Let's see what you guys wrote. I missed a whole lot of whatever you guys were talking about. Match.com needs to have a bull market, right? Because if Miss Netherlands is going to be a fucking dude, like, you know, that fucking thing's got to hit a fucking, that market's got to hit its top at some point, or we're fucking going to fail as a species. Lithium, yeah. Albemarle, I think, does have to do with lithium. Izzy called y'all out. Low testosterone peeps not looking to get laid. And honestly, like, you guys know, right? Like the average like middle 20s male has less testosterone than like you know, people from like 70 years ago. Like the world has lower testosterone as we've expanded in the population. We're literally much more beta. So it is a thing. That match thing is telling you, right? Motherfuckers are just sitting there, not touching grass, not touching ass, you know, just nothing. So TDG and HWM are ripping, right? There's different people inside ITA that are worth checking out. Now, those three are the ones we track, but there's obviously like a whole bunch of other plays in aerospace, and TDG we've talked about inside channel. Oh yeah, I put an experiment before we check out. I put an experiment in the room that Snow Ripper had posted about earlier, and it was about these mice where they tried to create a utopia for them. So how many of you guys read through this crazy experiment? Right, they did it 25 times and tried to create like a utopia for the mice, and there's a whole bunch of crazy shit that unfolds with these mice that is insanely accurate to the behaviors of people, and trying to provide, like, you know, a situation where everyone benefits. If you guys watch The Matrix, the architect talks about it, like, you know, they tried to create a utopia for humans, and they just reject it. And it's an interesting thing, right? Everyone thinks like if everybody had everything they needed, we would be in this peaceful society and no crimes and stuff would happen. But the reality is like the human dynamic doesn't allow for it, right? The chaos that we create is actually part of the cycle of destruction and rebuilding. And if we could actually ever like end up in such such a system, such a utopia where everyone would kind of cease and everyone would have the people they trust and everybody would be safe. If that could ever be achieved once, we wouldn't have the dynamic for the population to reach the size it's ever reached now. It is just a part of what we do. You know, we're miserable. You know, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, this experiment was pretty funny. And this time we went through it. It's a very long thread. But this is funny, right? Look at this. In the beginning, he placed 4 pairs of mice that in a short time began to reproduce, resulting in the population growing rapidly. However, after 315 days, their reproduction began to decrease significantly. When the number of rodents reached 600, a hierarchy was formed. Like, you know, it's pretty crazy. Let's see what else we got here. Between them, then so-called wretches appeared. The larger rodents began to attack the group, with the results that many males began to collapse psychologically. As a result, the females did not protect themselves and in turn became aggressive towards their young. Like, it's a really crazy fucking experiment to like watch how this civilization collapses, you know, but it has amazing similarities to shit going on in the collapses of, like, you know, known empires. So I invite you guys to read this one. Did I not repost it? I'll repost it on the wall. You guys have to like read this experiment. It's fucking crazy. It'll blow your mind. It's too lengthy to go into what happens in here, but you definitely want to read through this. But yeah, so I tried to make the, I tried to build a utopian like trading environment, and it seems more and more people hate my ass too. So it's just a dynamic, right? Nobody really wants fucking utopia. Yes, it is a 6. So anyways, y'all, Good stuff. Hopefully you got something out of this. I hope everybody's getting a bit of a mental reset. Everybody backs up a little, right? There's a lot of stuff we looked at, whether it be defense stocks or energy, right? There's huge cycles that people are too zoomed in to see that there's like a bunch more opportunities coming our way, regardless of what you missed in the first 6 months. I think a lot of people, keep looking in hindsight and don't get that foresight mind thing. It's not like this pseudo bullshit. You really have to like let go of what's past. You can't affect the past no matter how hard you think about it. All you have is like what's next. And there's a lot of things that are potentially next, right? But if your mind is stuck in the past, you're going to miss this shit too, and you're going to be doing the same thing, looking back at whatever unfolds from this point forward. The goal is to like make more informed decisions, not overwhelm yourself with all the possible opportunities. Make a plan and hunt down your plan until it comes to fruition. You can make a career out of three, 4 symbols for the whole year. The show produces like hundreds, in a month. That's not your goal, is to write everyone down. If you're an energy guy and you watch energy on resolutions that fit with your career, be an energy guy. Wait for him to come into his season. If you're a crypto fucking zealot, pay a fucking attention. It's already in season, right? So, get your target. You gotta remember, like I talk about this in a room, right? You never see 6 lions on National Geographic roam into a herd of gazelles and run in every direction. There's so much fucking food, guys, right? Those motherfuckers, before they get in there, have found one sick fucking gazelle or one fucking like old motherfucker. They're gonna kill his ass, and they'll walk past a whole army waiting to get that one motherfucker, right? Be a lion. Don't be fucking herd animals. Herd animals get eaten. So, food for thought. Food for the fucking predators. Don't be food. I guess that's the main thing. All right, motherfuckers. Good luck out there. I'll see y'all on the flip. Peace. So you can't see my peace sign because I'm just a floating head, but I do a peace sign.
Your stream will begin shortly.
See, I'm doing another one.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome